Here's what's making news now around Indiana, brought to you by your Indiana Pacers. Well, DePaul University has announced plans for a restructuring on the Greencastle campus. President Mark McCoy says a review shows the number of employees at the school is at a level that can't be sustained. That restructuring includes the elimination of more than 70 positions. Deaconess Clinic broke ground this week on its new downtown Evansville clinic. The facility will be on the Stone Family Center for Health Sciences campus and is expected to be complete in the spring of next year. The Angola Common Council has approved an agreement to pay $40,000 to Indianapolis headquartered HWC Engineering for an update to the city's comprehensive plan. That update intended to consolidate recent planning efforts into one cohesive vision for the city. And the Terre Haute Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors has named Kristen Craig the organization's new president. Craig will be the first woman to lead the chamber in the organization's 106-year history. Well, the Indiana Chamber of Commerce, among a number of business organizations and companies supporting passage of a comprehensive hate crimes bill at the Indiana Statehouse. There are several other issues the chamber is watching as well, and President Kevin Brinegar is here with a look at some of those key issues. Kevin, is always welcome.
Gary, thank you. Good to visit with you.
We'll get right to that hot button issue of the hate crimes bill. A flurry of activity a week ago or so. Things changed in a 24-hour period, came out of committee with a vote, or came out of the Senate with an amendment that really watered down the bill.
Yes, it did. It was a good bill with a comprehensive language that would include folks of all categories, as well as gave examples of lists of the traditional groups that have been subject to hate crimes activity. That came out of committee. They went into caucus the next day prior to the second reading amendment phase, and decided the votes just weren't there to pass the bill in that form. So they passed an amendment that essentially gutted the bill down to just 2 words and said judges can consider bias. Very broad, very vague, probably not likely to be used, and won't get us off of the list of 5 states that don't have a hate crime law. So we've still got a lot of work to do now that the bill goes to the House side. The good news is we do have a bill alive, and the governor has already weighed in more strongly and more heavily even than he did in the first half of the session. And the chamber and our various allies who think this bill is critically important are going to do likewise.
Will this be, when you blow all the smoke away on the governor to really make it happen, to really get in, lean in and take an active role in this?
Well, it won't rely just on the governor, but clearly that will be an important component to our success. And I think convincing rank and file legislators that this really is important, because our businesses are in a almost hand-to-hand combat fight for talent from companies around the country and around the world, and we need to remove any and all barriers like not having a hate crimes law from the checklist of things that businesses and individuals consider.
I know you're in the process of connecting with companies around the state of Indiana. Moving on, you've had a big focus on health, raising the legal smoking age to 21, a $2 per pack tax increase on cigarettes, taxing on some of the products in vaping, right? Where does all that stand?
Well, those are the 3 components of our anti-smoking agenda. The tax on the e-cigarette products, which are not previously taxed, has passed the House. The raising the legal age passed out of committee and then was held in the Tax and Appropriations Committee. We think that that'll be added to the vaping tax bill, and we'll get there before the end of the session. And then the $2 cigarette tax, which will help reduce smoking rates. If it passes, it'll be in the very end of the session as part of the budget, and could be a component to help provide the money to raise teacher salaries, cover DCS funding, and substance abuse counseling.
Only have 20 seconds, but some tax issues you feel are going in a positive direction. The venture capital tax credit, the taxation on data centers.
On data centers, those bills have both passed and look very strong, as well as a good workforce development bill that ties to the governor's cabinet work, and some funding for water infrastructure, which is a key component that we're looking forward to in the future.
All right, Kevin Brinegar, Indiana Chamber of Commerce, as always, we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.